I wanted to show you one last thing. I know we're beating this dead horse till it's a pulp, but so here I did something different because you had mentioned you wanted to use just the tools that you already knew and you didn't want to jump ahead. So I assume you had lists already. So instead of using the dictionary, I used two lists. One that has the months of the year in order, and one has the associated days in each month in order. So at index 0, January has 31. At index 1, February has 28 days. At index 2, March has 31 days. So basically, these indexes align with each other. Okay, now I actually kept the bulk of the code the same, but because I implemented it this way, I needed to do something to check that like things were valid. So what I did was I made this little loop with an if statement on the inside. And what I did is I made this Boolean statement that says input valid false. So I'm going to assume, so after I collect the input month, input day, I have these two data structures. They're both lists. I set the season to blank, and then I have this Boolean variable that I'm going to say is false, meaning the input, I'm assuming that the input, this is like a question, is input valid? And I'm saying it's false. I'm assuming that it's not valid. And I have to prove that it is valid. So what I'm doing is right here, for I in range means from basically 0 to this number, and the number I'm passing it is the length of the list. So it'll count, oh, there's 12 things in this list, and it'll go from basically 0 to 12. This allows us to iterate through the items in the list using I as an index. So what I'm doing now is I'm saying, so this allows us to iterate through the loop, and then there's two parts to this, which is check if the input month exists in months of the year. If an input month exists in here in this list, then it's a valid month, at least. We know that. So if this is true and the input day is within one and the maximum of that month's day, then we know that input is valid. Essentially, last time I had it like input day greater than 0, but I'm doing, maybe it's easier to see greater than or equal to 1, so I'm saying that this way this time. And then I'm saying it's true, input valid is true. Then I'm going to go about my business how I was doing it before, checking all the month stuff. And then at the end here, I'm just saying if it's not valid, then set season to invalid and then print the season. And I can just kind of quickly prove to you that this works as well. So I could do like March 27th, March, and then 27 maybe. And then I'll do it again and say like March and do like 35. And then I'll do like, I don't know, October 31st. And there you go.